I want to ask you a question. Who's the most important leader you've ever met? Look in the mirror. What does it really mean to be a leader? Most people think leadership is about having authority, having followers, or being in charge, controlling others, so on and so forth. But today, I want to talk about a different kind of leadership, one that has nothing to do with titles or positions, but yet it is the most important leadership role, and that is you leading your own life. Because if you're not leading it, something or someone else will. Many people don't feel like leaders in their own lives. They feel stuck, disempowered. They're being pulled by obligations, controlled by circumstances, or shaped by expectations that were never truly theirs. And here's the thing, that didn't happen because they failed. You see, most of us were taught to follow these systems and rules and traditions and what other people define as success. We were rarely taught how to listen to ourselves. So, of course, over time, people learn to look outside for answers, outside for validation, outside for permission, outside for direction. And slowly they give their power away. Self leadership does not mean controlling everything, it just means becoming conscious. It's the moment you stop living on autopilot and start noticing how you speak to yourself, what you tolerate, how you respond instead of reacting, and whether your choices actually reflect who you are. Leadership begins with awareness. Yes, that moment when you ask yourself, is this a choice or just a habit? That question alone can change your life. Hey, I just want to pause here for a moment. If this message is resonating with you, I invite you to like the video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe so you don't miss future conversations like this. All right, let's get back to the video. Now, let's talk about responsibility because this part often gets misunderstood. Taking responsibility does not mean blaming yourself. It doesn't mean judging your past, and it doesn't mean shaming yourself for what you didn't know. Responsibility simply means recognizing that now you have a choice. You can say, I didn't know then, but I know now. And that's leadership. Leadership is not about perfection, it's about ownership. Now, I would like to just reflect here for a moment. There is always something meaningful that can come out of a difficult experience, but you have to be brave enough to look for it. So, I want to share with you that I didn't always lead my own life either. I wouldn't be able to talk to people today about reclaiming their power. I wouldn't be able to support others on their own path. And I wouldn't even be here speaking to you if I hadn't lived through my own experiences. So here's where I begin. So, a big part of my journey began inside a religious system, a high control group, where I slowly lost connection with my own inner authority as a young adult. And later, I experienced a sudden and deeply traumatic ending to my marriage. Those moments were not easy, they were painful. And for a long time, they felt like breakdowns. But looking back now, I can see something clearly. Those experiences forced me to wake up. They were there to teach me. They pushed me to reconnect with myself, to trust my own inner voice again, and to stop handing my power away. Ironically, it was those very moments that helped me grow into the leader of my own life. Because breakdowns often carry the seeds of breakthroughs. And that is what self leadership is really about. Every true leader has something in common. They trust their inner compass. You have one too. It's that quiet inner knowing, that gut feeling, that voice you've learned to ignore because the world is so loud. Self leadership really requires reconnecting with yourself. Not adding more opinions and not consuming more advice, but learning to listen again. You don't need more answers, you need more self trust. And here's something really important to understand: fear doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. Fear shows up when you're stepping into something new. The difference between being led by fear and leading through fear is who is in the driver's seat. Don't think that leaders don't feel fear. They do. They just don't let it make their decisions. It's not about eliminating the fear, it's about not allowing it to run your life. So don't let fear run your life because it can ruin your life. Self leadership shows up in small moments, in what you say yes to and in what you walk away from. Yes, setting boundaries is really key in how you care for your body, your mind, and your energy. You see, leadership doesn't feel frantic, it feels grounded. It doesn't require force, it requires alignment. And when your choices align with who you truly are, life starts to feel clearer, calmer, easier, more intentional. And here's what really feels amazing: when you lead yourself, you naturally inspire others. Not because you're trying to teach, not because you're trying to convince, but because people feel that authenticity. True leadership is embodied, it's quiet, and it gives others permission to do the same. No one else can live your life for you. No one else can feel your joy, your pain, or your purpose. Leading your life isn't about having it all figured out. It's about choosing to show up consciously again and again and again. And you don't need permission, you don't need approval, and you don't need to wait until you feel ready. Start before you're ready. Or you may never start at all. You are already qualified and in a great position to become the leader of your own life. Blessings. Bye.